In the quiet embrace of an ancient garden, where life was untouched by time and unmarred by decay, a whisper slid through the air, soft, almost imperceptible, yet heavy with promise. This was no ordinary voice. It carried a weight that seemed to stretch across the fabric of existence, challenging the very order that bound creation together. In the heart of Eden, amidst the rustle of leaves and the gentle hum of nature's perfection, tale was unfolding, one that would ripple through millennia, reshaping humanity's destiny. For centuries, the story of Adam and Eve has been told, retold, and revered. It is a narrative of innocence lost, of temptation yielded to, and of a serpent who lured humanity into rebellion. Most imagine this serpent as a cunning, slithering deceiver, a creature whose very essence was to mislead. But what if this image was but a shadow of the truth? What if, hidden beneath layers of translation and interpretation, the serpent's role was far more enigmatic, its purpose far more profound? In the sacred soil of Genesis lies a word, ancient and cryptic. Nash. A term often translated as serpent, it evokes the image of a snake in countless retellings. Yet, the Hebrew language, rich and layered, offers more than simplicity. This Nash, was it truly just a snake? Or was it something greater, something imbued with wisdom, power, and perhaps even divinity? What if this being was not merely a deceiver, but a figure, a paradox, a creature that walked the line between rebellion and revelation? Imagine the scene in you, Eve, standing before the tree of knowledge. Its fruit gleaming with an otherworldly allure. The air is thick with tension, a crossroads where choice and consequence collide. The serpent speaks, but its words are not the hiss of treachery. They are sharp, laden with the promise of understanding, the weight of awakening. Your eyes shall be opened, it whispers, not with malice, but with a knowing. Could this serpent be more than it seems, a herald of forbidden truths, being that dared to illuminate the darkness of ignorance? This is the mystery of the garden. The untold depths of a story we thought we knew. What lies beneath the surface of this ancient tale? What secrets have been buried beneath centuries of tradition? Prepare to embark on a journey into the heart of Genesis, where nothing is as it seems, and the serpent's shadow stretches far beyond the confines of Eden. In the beginning, the earth was a place of harmony, and humanity walked in communion with their Creator. The Garden of Eden, divine paradise, stood at the heart of creation, where Adam and Eve lived in innocence and perfect unity with God. Among the trees of the garden was the tree of life, its branches stretching toward the heavens, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which God had commanded them not to touch. But within this sacred space, there was another presence, subtle and enigmatic, whose actions would forever alter the course of human destiny. The serpent, more cunning than any beast of the field, appeared before Eve. It was not as one might imagine, a mere creature slithering on the ground, but something far more mysterious and profound. The serpent spoke, "Has God truly said you shall not eat from every tree in the garden?" The question, laced with intrigue, drew Eve's attention. "We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden," she replied, "but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die." The serpent's voice was both alluring and filled with a knowledge that seemed beyond mortal understanding. "You will not surely die," it said, "for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." These words carried a promise, one that echoed a desire deep within the human heart, the longing to understand, to grasp the mysteries of existence, and to claim the wisdom of the divine. Eve's hand trembled as she reached for the fruit. The moment she bit into it, and Adam followed, the world around them shifted. Their eyes were opened, as the serpent had foretold, and they saw themselves in a new light. Innocence was replaced by awareness, and with it came shame, fear, and the heavy burden of responsibility. But who was this serpent? Was it merely a creature of deception, or was there a deeper truth hidden within its identity? To uncover the nature of this enigmatic figure, we must journey back to the ancient texts, where the Hebrew word, nash, is used to describe the serpent. In its essence, nash means serpent, but its meaning extends far beyond this simple translation. In certain contexts, nash refers to one who divines, one who possesses supernatural knowledge or practices enchantments. Could it be that the serpent was not merely a snake, but a being of profound wisdom, endowed with knowledge of divine mysteries? Scholars have long debated the serpent's true nature. Some propose it was a divine being, a lesser god or demigod, akin to figures in ancient mythologies who bridged the gap between mortals and the divine. Others suggest it was a symbol of chaos, a force challenging the order established by God. Or perhaps a metaphor for humanity's own internal struggle, the desire to know, to challenge, and to grow. In the myths of ancient Mesopotamia, serpents were revered as symbols of wisdom and immortality. The god Ninjisuda, often depicted with serpentine characteristics, was associated with vegetation and the underworld. In Egyptian tradition, the cobra represented Wadjet, goddess embodying protection and royal authority. These cultural echoes suggest that the serpent in Eden may have been more than a deceiver. It may have been a figure of complexity, embodying both illumination and rebellion. The serpent's role as a divine rebel mirrors themes found in other traditions. In Greek mythology, Prometheus defied the gods to bring fire, a symbol of knowledge, to humanity, suffering eternal punishment for his actions. Could the serpent in Genesis serve a similar purpose? Rather than acting solely as an agent of deception, it may represent the catalyst for humanity's journey from innocence to understanding, from blind obedience to conscious choice. As Eve and Adam stood in the garden, newly aware of their nakedness, the consequences of their choice began to unfold. God, walking in the cool of the day, called out, "Where are you?" The Creator's voice carried both sorrow and love, for the bond between God and humanity had been fractured. When Adam and Eve confessed their disobedience, God pronounced judgment, not as a curse alone, but as a reflection of the new reality they had chosen. To the serpent, God said, "Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." These words have been interpreted as a prophecy, a foreshadowing of redemption through the seed of the woman, a promise that would echo through generations. But even in judgment, the serpent's true nature remains shrouded in mystery. Was it merely a creature used as a vessel, or was it a being acting with its own will and purpose? When God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil," there was an acknowledgement of humanity's transformation. They had gained a divine characteristic, the knowledge of good and evil, but at a cost. To prevent them from eating of the tree of life and living forever in this fallen state, they were cast out of Eden. Cherubim and a flaming sword guarded the way to the tree of life, ensuring that humanity's path forward would be one of struggle and redemption. The expulsion from Eden marked the beginning of humanity's journey in a world of toil and pain. Yet, within this new reality lay the seeds of hope and the possibility of restoration. The serpent's role, whether as a divine rebel, a symbol of chaos, or a metaphor for human curiosity, challenges us to consider the complexity of the Genesis narrative. Was the serpent's temptation an essential part of God's plan for humanity's growth? Did it serve as a test, a means to refine humanity's understanding of free will and divine love? These questions invite us to look beyond a simplistic view of good versus evil and to explore the depths of God's purpose and humanity's potential. For those who reflect on this ancient story, the serpent becomes a mirror, revealing not only the fall but also the promise of redemption. It reminds us that within the struggle between order and chaos, within the pursuit of knowledge and the boundaries set by God, there is a profound truth about the human condition. We are beings of choice, capable of both disobedience and faith, wandering and returning to our Creator. The story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is not merely a tale of failure, it is a story of beginnings, of humanity's first steps on a path that leads ultimately to salvation. As we ponder the serpent's role, may we find in its mystery a call to seek wisdom, to embrace the complexities of faith, and to trust in the goodness of God's plan. For even in the shadows of the garden, there is a light that points the way home.